Welcome to the Billy Moore podcast, and today's special guest is Jazza Dickens, the new IBF European champion. You're also the WBO champion, aren't you?
Yep.
Thanks for coming on, Jazz.
Thanks for having me on, Bill.
Brilliant. So, let's start from the beginning. Where are you from, and what are you all about?
Yeah, first of all, Bill, thanks for having me on. It's nice to see you doing what you're doing. It's good to see the podcast taking off, and that. It's a pleasure to be on. I'm from Liverpool, the city centre area. Liverpool, the closest area from the city centre. The closest, what you would call, is it a council estate? Holy Cross.
Yeah.
Bottom Vauxhall Road. That's the closest place out of the city centre. Pretty much in the city centre. Never have to go out of the city centre. So only like little small areas out of Liverpool, like we just say like Croxteth or something like that. I wouldn't know my way there because I'm in the city centre. I've got no reason to go out anyway. Do you know what I mean? So you know it can be, but you think that you're the centre of the world.
Yeah.
I live in the centre of the world. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. So everywhere you never went past the garden path as a kid.
No. Yeah, we live where you from? Town. Whereabouts in town? What town? Liverpool. The city centre, the centre of the world. That's where I grew up. The bottom of Scotland Road.
How was it growing up? How was your life?
Yeah, it was good. But the community I lived in was it was great. Really, there was me and 10 other lads my age, all around the same age. We all went to the same school, Holy Cross. We all grew up together. We played for the football team, the Barham. Every night we played out together. We had a community, a really strong sense of community. Everyone knew each other's ma. Everyone knew each other's dad, and it was like a little, you call it a little bit inbred, but everyone knew each other. Yeah,
you had that sense of belonging.
Yeah,
being a part of something.
Yeah, I knew that. Like
at an early age,
you
knew
go,
that.
Your neighbours look after you, and likewise, it was a nice community to grow up in.
Yeah, so you enjoyed. So what took you down the road of boxing?
Bloody hell, but with me half I used to train in the house every night. Me and my half to train. He was never a boxer. No one in my family was a boxer. Don't know where the boxing came from for me. We trained in the house every night, and he said, "You say to me, go down to the gym, you can fight." But I was always small. I used to love the football. My dad was the football manager of a Sunday, the Barham, and I had like one too many fights in school, and I went doing the best in school, and I had a fight after school one day, and that was it, the final. I done well. I had done well. Thought there was a little bit of a boxer, went down the gym, and it took off from there really. But
yeah, what gym was that you started?
The Solly.
The Solly.
Yeah, it's like a famous gym in Liverpool. I went down there. My cousin, my uncle took me with my cousin, and on the first night I went in there, went around. There was a picture of John Conte on the wall.
Yeah.
There's a picture of John Conte with the WBC belt on him. I thought I want to be world champion within like.
How old was you when you wanted to be when you taught
that day? 12.
12 years old, and you wanted to become world champion.
Yeah, I was I just melted. There was a lot going on in the background, Bill, and it was like an escape.
Yeah.
Escape from life, from reality. And I thought this is my way out. This can be a way out for me. I didn't know how. Didn't know like there was terminology that coaches would use, and just didn't know what it meant. All I knew was that I could fight. Within 2 days, I was sparring one of the kids. You could say one of the best kids in El Mion. Within a week, I had my medical ready to fight. Within, I think it was 3 weeks, I had my first fight. You know what I mean? It's very fast, isn't it? Fast track build.
Yeah.
And so, it just went on from there, fight after fight.
Similar stuff. You know, I think my dad used to tell me that he was a boxer. I'd never seen him have a fight. And he had this little punch bag, little punch ball, you know, like he stands on years ago as a kid. And I don't know, I just there was a lot going on in the background as well for me, you know, and I just wanted to impress my dad at the same time. And I you know, I wasn't really, you know, it was combat sports. I started with karate, Shotogun, Kion, kata, and boxing. So for me, probably similar to yourself, it was like a sanctuary. Yep. You know, it was an escapism. I felt a part of something. You know, that unity, camaraderie, you know, running together, training together, getting in the showers at the end, not together.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, do you know, the jokes and the banter.
Yeah.
You know, is that what you kind of felt you needed?
I had the opposite, Bill. You know, I was always a one man. I was always like, what would you call it, recluse? I don't know. I was always like, I have to be the best.
Yeah.
I weren't happy I weren't content until I was the best, the number one. Yeah, but have you seen the film, The Avatar?
Yeah.
It was like that was me, Bill. I was stepping into the Avatar every time I went to the gym. I was stepping out of reality, and which you would think that it's hard to fight. It was the opposite way around for me. It was hard to live, and then I was getting in the ring, and it was easy to fight. Just going to this other place and enjoy myself and let go and express myself. Do you know what I mean? And feel acceptance and you feel a lot of love from these coaches, don't you, Bill? When you go to these gyms and that, seeing like the place with the returns of what they're doing with the autistic people and all that. But it's just amazing what these people give the time up, and then they're like, they're saving lives, really, Bill, aren't they? Well, they're changing lives, they're changing direction and people's lives, and I had that in abundance. People who was there to help me from an early age, and not that I didn't have two loving parents, but I had a lot of guidance through the world of boxing.
That's it. That's powerful, because you know, it's like you're giving people the opportunity to change. You know, so you go into these places, and it's, for me, it was like I had a good old trainer, John Naylor, and I remember I was training for months and nothing was happening. I felt I was ready, and he never put me forward, and I started to drift away. But I'd be in the vicinity of the gym, and I was in this having a little workout. So I was about 12, 13 years old, and he come in and said, "Come on, you're fighting on Wednesday," and the excitement and the fear and everything at the same time was fucking going right through my body. Yeah, so yeah, it's...
I was thinking about that the other day, Bill, about the feelings that you get as a fighter before you touch gloves and you go to the centre of the ring and you're about there, and there's nothing like it, Bill. It's just like a natural drug, innit? Yeah. You can't replace that feeling. I don't think a lot of fighters go back to fighting all the time, don't they? Because they can't.
It's that adrenaline. Yeah. It's like, for me, when I got sold, I was fighting this kid, the very first fight. I had all these butterflies in my stomach. It was that fight or flight going on in me. So, you know, I didn't recognise it until later on as fear. Yeah. It was just fear. But the minute that bell went and them gloves touched and the first punch that got thrown, it was gone. Yeah. It was about like being, you know, I was never a team player.
Yeah, same, brother.
I tried, but I didn't kind of fit in. So I wanted to become independent and, you know, and a solitude and get in the ring. And, you know, if I lost, I lost because I never trained hard enough. Yeah. You know, and I see how you train. You're like a fucking machine, lad. Honestly, God, you know, you're lethal. And everyone who I've had on the podcast who's involved in boxing, I've always said that they trained harder than their opponent. In their mind, they said if he does 3 rounds, I'm doing 6. If they do fucking 5 days, I'm doing 10. You know what I mean? So that's about the passion, you know, the fire, wanting to be the best. Is that how you feel now?
Yeah, Bill, I think with training that, Bill, I've always had from an early age, training with my dad. I remember being in someone else's flat with my alpha. He was doing this thing. We were in someone else's house, and he said to me, show Nolly, lad, you can do 50, do your press-ups. And we used to do 50 press-ups every night, and I was the age of 5, Bill. I remember doing press-ups, 50 press-ups.
At the age of 5?
50 press-ups, and sound like a lie, Bill. And so doing my press-ups and finishing shaking, getting up on the last one. And just like hitting the floor. I remember lying on his carpet, it was like this fucking mad house, Bill. And the surroundings weren't good for a child, Bill, but for what I got that day, it was like that Noni clapped me. Yeah. His mates clapped me, and that was the first time I'd ever gone out with my dad. It was just me and him, but the audience had seen. It was like my first ever outing at the age of 5. Like, I could get acceptance by physically being strong, if that makes sense, Bill. And only on reflection, looking back on this, and I got a clap for it, and it was nice. But it was the first time me and my dad had showed anyone what I can do, what I'm capable of, how you can turn this negative situation that we were living in into something positive. And even when I fight now, Bill, I need him there with me, because it's me and my dad in Nornie's flat. So I could be in the arena in front of thousands of people, but it's just me and my dad in Nornie's flat. I still feel that the same clap off Nornie I got, I feel that of all these people. Nothing changes. It's just me and my dad in that audience, on that carpet doing them press ups, or in that ring having that fight, whether it be for a world title or whatever. You know what I mean? So he shows that nothing really changes. You just come back to being the child, don't you?
Yeah, so you always go back to that moment where you got that affirmation, that round of applause.
That's
and it was like, you know, the feelings that you were getting was like, wow, fucking hell, you know, I've achieved something. But we've done this together, me and my dad. You know, I know your dad, and you know, it's good to see him attend the fights with you and be a part of your journey and that. You know, it's great to see that. You know, and I wish you had the same experience now today that I did. I think growing up for me, you know, my dad showed an interest when I got in the ring. I started winning fights. I only got in the ring and got involved in boxing initially just to impress him, like I just said earlier. You know, once I started building my confidence up and people started to take notice, you know, I lost the need for him.
Did you?
I did, yeah. It was quite, I sort of like, you know, because I was angry. I grew up, I was quite angry. You know, there was a lot of anger. Like yourself, there's loads of stuff in the background, and it was quite difficult. And you know, the anger turned to resentments, and the resentments sort of just like, I can do this on my own. You know, but over the years, you know, the past 10 years of his life, he made amends in his way, and it was nice. And I was part of his life, and he was part of mine. So. Yeah, it's important to have family, no matter whether it's your mum, your dad, brothers, sisters, you know. And I like everything about what you do. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Bill. Do you know that thing there, Bill? We saw hot resentment. Well, I'm big on the law of attraction and positivity and stuff like that. And like what I find strange is that how you can do great things on resentment. You can do great things on something so negative, which doesn't really make sense to me, Bill, but you can do a lot, can't you, on that negative energy. You can also work for a lot and achieve a lot with being that negative person, if that makes sense, Bill. I don't know how I achieved so much, looking back, by being resentful, and I'll show you.
Yeah, my mate said the same thing to me the other week. He said, you know, I'll stay clean, right, in recovery on a resentment. He said, I won't show them, right, until, you know, it just makes me laugh because he's been going around now for like 17 years, you know what I mean? On a fucking resentment, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, you know, he said sometimes that'll keep you going. It's like sheer determination and willpower, and fucking I'll show you.
We've all got that cunt we'll show, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a fucking mad world we live in, you know what I mean? How old are you now, Jazz?
29.
29, fucking hell. And you've got a world-class career ahead of you, you know, and, you know, recently winning these titles, amazing. And I've looked at your record and I've watched it, and, you know, I remember your first loss against Kid Callahan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's only been beaten by Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington's now the world champion, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's your next opponent in a sense going forward. He's the man who's in the way of your dream. Yeah,
Josh Warrington's, he's got my belt. It's that's how I see it, Bill. He's got my belt. I will be fighting Josh Warrington soon, Bill. I'm big on a lot of attraction, and it's him who's got the belt, but it's not personal to Warrington.
No.
It's not personal,
it's but belt, isn't it?
He's got me belt, do you know what I mean? Yeah. If that makes sense, Bill.
And you want it.
Yeah. That's it. It's
that's him, you know, and I like that. So what you put out there is what you get back. Is that what you're saying? With that lot of attraction.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. I've beat Josh Warrington, Bill. I've done many rounds with him. Pointless. But what I'm trying to get is, I've got nothing but respect to him. Speaking to his dad the other night, a lovely man. Josh, a really nice kid, but he's got me belt, Bill. He's got me. Josh, you've got me belt. You need to give me my belt back.
No, that's what I like to hear, positive kind of energy coming out of you. You know what I mean? So how are you feeling after your fight at recent? So what was the experience?
The old contract, Bill, was it's been a year long, 3 fights against the European champion, another European and Commonwealth champion, and the British champion. So I've come out, I've beat all them champions, and I haven't got the belts for them because, for one reason or another, with politics, it should be British, Commonwealth and European champion as it is now, but it's just the European champion. But the experience all along has been amazing, Bill. It's put me in good stead for the future. Hopefully world titles against Josh Warrington. So I'm in a good place now, Bill, but it's been a long journey because the coronavirus happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
I was supposed to fight, and
Is that your new nickname, the COVID kid?
The COVID kid, yeah. So I was supposed to fight, Bill, and I had the first fight. A few months later, I had the second fight. Now I'm in the finals. They ripped me off in the semi-finals. Shouldn't have won that. And in the finals, supposed to fight, and I got the COVID, didn't I? I contracted the apparently. Does it exist? I don't know, but I got it, Bill, and my coach has it too. So the fight got pushed back a few months. So it's been a long time. Been away for like the last 8 months. I've been away from my family for 6 of them. Do you know what I mean? Staying with my half fellas in the box room, but my kids only live 5 minutes away. You know what I mean? I haven't had much time with them, so it's nice and relieving now, Bill, to be able to switch off all them months. You know what I mean? Having one person on my mind, and now I can relax and have a good kind
Did you have any symptoms or?
Yeah, just a flu, Bill.
Flu.
Yeah,
I was talking to Molly. She had the same experience. She got COVID, but she said her lungs felt like they were half the size. You know what I mean? She was going through the mill with it, like, you know what I mean? So it does affect people in different ways. I was sure, you know, I'm not here to say I had it or I didn't have it, but I felt like for a brief moment back in March, fucking pretty shit. Like
that last year. Yeah,
no, this year.
There was a flu around Christmas.
January, I can't remember. Yeah, January, it was horrible, lad.
I had a wear one around Christmas, and it felt just the same. So I don't know.
So you just couldn't compare what's what. But they said it was corona.
They said, yeah. So I've had a worse flu than corona, the COVID.
Do us a favour, talk me through your losses, right? Because this is more important. I find the losses are the ones that, you know, the defeats.
Yeah.
See, so you've lost the kid Galahad, because I watched you, like, this kid is unbeatable. Jazza Dickens, wow. Every time you got in the ring, you were winning. I was like, and then Kid Galahad, right, and you lost.
Yeah.
Right. How did you feel? Like, did you just internally, what was the experience?
I was going through a confidence phase, Bill. I was got to 17-0, win. But every time, I'd never made the weight, stone 10. I had this fucking eating problem, really, like eating problem bad, Bill, and I wouldn't face it. I just don't. As a child, watching my parents through addiction, I developed my own problems, Bill. I'll never be like them, but really it was just like them. I'm eating, suppressing my feelings. I used to think I was like cool and calm, but really looking back now, you weren't cool and calm. You were just fucking eating on your feelings, fixing everything through eating food. You know what I mean? So I was putting like stupid amounts of weight on 2 stone in between fights in that, Bill, and every fight I'd just about scrape through. I'd look like shit at the weigh-in. I'd make 8 stone 10, and then the next day, the week after the fight, I'd be sick. Feel like I was food poisoned for the week, because I just killed myself to make the weight, and then I'd go back in a fucking vicious cycle, eating in a dark place. So, but I'm getting confidence because I'm still winning. I'm not addressing my problems, Bill. When I fought Galahad the first time, I'd done the same thing, Bill, and it's just fucking caught up with me. First good fighter, the first real fight I'd had, and I got put on my ass. It was the first time ever as a count. And the referee stopped the fight, and it was hard after the, Bill. So I just went into fucking spiraled into where the fucking
just dark doom.
Spiraled into darkness, Bill. I went away with my bird and my baby. We went on my boy, and we went on holiday. I remember thinking, like, I haven't thought about the shoot, not knowing, thinking about, is this why people kill themselves, and just going down that route, Bill, and like thinking about death and all that, and how the fuck am I gonna face this embarrassment, this public disgrace I've lost, and they want to show me face, and people talk to me about it and all that, and you just want to swallow it up, you know what I mean? But I had this mental image in my head. It was a wall. It was a fucking big wall just being built in front of me. This is the only way I can explain it, Bill. I had this wall in front of me, and I thought, if for me to go through this, there can't be one fucking brick left off this wall. I have to smash through every single block and grow from it to get better, because there's no way I can go on yet still feel anything I feel here. Do you know what I mean? It was a tough time, but it molded me big time, Bill, because I was going round the bend, Bill. Going round the bend. It's like at one point I think he messaged Galahad one night on Facebook. Fucking, I don't drink, don't touch drugs, Bill. But this is the mind of a of a person who's lost the plot. Like, I'm gonna get you, rematch. No, rematch. I'm gonna get you. I think I messaged him one night, and then when I look back now, I think, what are you doing, fucking hell?
Your actors on your
You're
feelings.
just stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking why'd you do that? But I was that angry, Bill. I'd lost. I couldn't accept that I lost. You know what I mean, two man who felt I was better than, and I had all these excuses about the weight and all that. I was just a better man in the night. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, I had to get through, Bill, and I come back and won the British.
That's a question. That's a good question. Do you think that's a big one? See, you've just said that and you've just explained how you felt and the dark fucking feelings around it all, you know what I mean, and the anger and the wanting to get back and the revenge, right? So, you know, you've got like here Deontay Wilder getting beat by Fury. Straight away he's blaming the suit he's wearing or whatever, right? There's always an excuse, right? Right? He got beat by the better man. I watched that fight. He got beat by the better man. Ends off. So do you feel that's just like a get out clause for some of these boxers that lose after being like put up on a belly, like
you look for
Anthony Ruiz, pulling to kid, know what I mean? The second fight he had, it was just boxing him, keeping away, box clever, get me belt back and never get back in the ring with him. That was how it was.
It's hard to face things, isn't it, Bill, that you're not ready to face and to accept things that will bring down your house of cards. And I always say, if you've got more than fucking 3 excuses and you can't point your finger on any of them, it's an excuse, you know what I mean? So it was this, and it was this, and this went right, and this. You've fucking gone on 5 times now, you've said about this different excuses for the same loss. Maybe it was just that you lost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes
so it's acceptance in the end, it's acceptance. But going back, right, which before the fight and you were trying to make the weight, and then you know you're looking like, you know, there was addiction in your family growing up, right? Now, that was a similar experience. My dad would never admit to me or anyone, and he still never, till the day he died, that he had a problem with drink, right? And I always remember saying to my mum, I was holding her hand one day, sobbing, she was sobbing, and I felt really sorry for her, and I grabbed her hand and said, Mum, I'll never be like my dad. And I was about 10, only really young. I'll never be like my dad, but it's there, they became him, but in different ways. You know, I didn't want to go down that road, and it was quite sad, you know. So that must have been a bit of a struggle, because it's like we're conditioned, aren't we, from an early age. You know.
Yeah, conditioned, but
but I look at my dad now and I say, you know, my dad didn't mean to do the things he did. I believe that. I honestly believe, right? The last 4 years of his life, he was the loneliest I've ever seen him. You know what I mean? And I knew when I looked in his eyes that he regretted what he did. You know what I mean? He never had the opportunity to change. I wish he could have, but it wasn't for him. So did that have a big impact on you growing up in around your self-esteem as well? Because you were talking about like your confidence, your eating habits. You know, you were picking up bits and bobs of addiction that you wasn't aware of. You know, I eat on me fucking feelings. You know, I find myself downstairs fucking eating shite. You know what I mean? I struggle with it.
When I got the call, Bill, I was 2.5 stone overweight with 8 weeks to go. For the Gallagher fight, I was in Egypt with me bird. I just had a fight, and I was fucking just blowing out, Bill. I was just and my when I get told you got eight weeks now, so 8 weeks in a day or something, or 2 days or something, and you're 2.5 stone overweight. The idea would be then to go and get the weight down, wouldn't it? Or get on it now. What have you got? It was something like something stupid per day you had to lose. For over 2 months. But my thoughts at the time was, have your last blowout, not get the weight down, go worse before you can fucking, do you know what I mean? That's just madness, that's insanity in it, Bill. So
it's like saying I'll start a tire on the Monday, but I'll swat it from the Friday up until the Monday, but then the Monday comes and then it fucking never happens anyway.
Never, So I would combat it. Well, I would think I would combat it by training, overtraining. So what I was doing, I was overeating, killing myself to make the weight, and then overtraining and burning the arse out of myself. So I'm burning the candle at both ends. You know what I mean? I stayed at 8 stone 10 for a long time, too long really. But I was you asked about the beliefs I picked up as a child, Bill. I believed I was let me say though, Bill, like my parents, I've got 2 loving parents, 2 of the best parents who also wasn't shown how to live. Do you know what I mean? They weren't shown how to manage life. They weren't showing these ways, so how can they show them? I'm trying to learn myself to show them to my kids. You know what I mean? I'm trying to break the habit, stop it here now with me. But these weren't showing these things, Bill. You know what I mean? My mum come from a family. She lost her mum at the age of 8. My dad grew up. My dad was alcoholic, so it's like, what the fuck are they supposed to show me? Do you know what I mean? But one thing that they changed was the love that they got put into them, and the love that I got put into me from them. That sort of helped. You know what I mean? That let me know you are worth it, but you're not worth. You're worth it inside, but you're not worth these things outside. So I felt like the meth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt scruffy. I felt like I felt less than. I felt like that's what I felt like, the meth, Bill.
Yeah.
Don't know, people from outside of Liverpool don't know what the meth is. I felt like scruffy. It's hard to speak, Bill, because I've got 2 fucking great parents. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Both living clean now and they're doing well.
Do you know what? It's similar. Right, I grew up and me ma, we had nothing. Right, I've had it. Everybody who's been on here, give or take, right, you know, full of humility, getting humble. Look, it was tough growing up. We had nothing. You know, I was going to school and getting called a tramp, right? I was getting called a scruff, I was getting called all kinds of names. All that contributed to the way I felt.
Yeah.
See, it's not. It's you know, it's harmful.
Yeah.
You know what you say to someone at an early age. Yeah. Remember that one, sticks and stones won't break your bones and all the names. So wrong, you know, all that fucking bollocks.
Wrong,
they hurt, right? I got called a lot of names. Always felt different.
Yeah.
Felt separate. Couldn't fit in. That kind of isolated me. And when you're isolated, you're on your own. You're in your own head.
Yep.
So you're thinking about your own fucking shit, and you're inventing your own stories.
Yep.
Yeah. So you know, there's no shame in saying, you know, my mum worked every fucking hour God gave us, right? And she's provided what she could. There was 6 of us. She tried her best. So it was difficult. But it's just, and I'm in a way I'm grateful, because I think these kids today are given too much. There's too much temptation. You know what I mean? They've got, you know, they've got coats that are worth fucking 800 quid, $1,000. You know what I mean? We were lucky to fucking get one out of the fucking, you know, off the council.
yeah. Well, I was filled. My cup was filled with love, Bill. You know what I mean? So I didn't need nothing. That's all like you need. But when you're saying there, like how you felt, I knew. I developed a way. I used to find it easier to fight than argue with people, because I could never win the argument, because I knew what was coming. I would get called smackhead as a kid, so we wouldn't say knobhead, dickhead. And when it gets too far, you fucking smackhead, and it was on, Bill. So I developed a way to punch before I got called smackhead. You know what I mean? So that's how I felt. That's what I felt like inside. If the other people are saying it with so much conviction, I'm smackhead. You know what I mean? I'm only fucking 8. I'm not a smackhead. Do you know what I mean? But that's feeling that today, Bill. It's
a horrible
develops beliefs.
It's a horrible label. It is. I was talking about this with a few guests. It is a horrible label, and it's attached. And it puts you in that fucking environment, doesn't it?
It means something, doesn't it, Bill? When we say it, it's got a meaning to it, Bill. It's a horrible word, because there's a lot of addicts who
what's attached to the word smackhead? Like fucking low life, robbing bastard, right? Who doesn't care about fucking no one.
You're a scumbag. It's saying a lot of things, isn't it, Bill?
It is. And I look at this and I think, you know what? To me, I just see people who are poor spirit in soul. You know what I mean? They've got poor souls. They're struggling. You know,
fixing the pain, Andy, on a substance.
See, you know, exactly. I fix the pain, right? I suppress the feelings that I developed from an early age with substances. You know, at first it was, you know, like you said, it was trying to fix yourself with clothes, women, shopping, all that stuff. You can go all outside stuff, and then in the end you just want to fucking bury it. You know what I mean? That for me was the case, and I'm really grateful that I've had the opportunity to fucking wake up, you know, and step up to the table and reach out and go, look, I fucking need help here. And that's what my problem was not asking for help. You know what I mean? And the minute people ask for help, you know, it's fucking, you know, half your fucking problems go away. Yeah, Bill. Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely, Bill. Of course, yeah. There's a lot of pride that holds us back, doesn't it, Bill?
It does, yeah.
You're the last person to know, aren't you? All everyone can see. I'm not asking for help because they'll know, but they can only fucking see. So I think, but what you're saying there, Bill, about the addiction, there's having kids now. What I've realised is that there's an addiction which is in society seen as negative, and there's one seen as positive. So I could go and take all these drugs and I'm seen as a bad dad. I can go and be a workaholic and not see my kids and I'm seen as a good dad. But the truth is, my kids are getting abandoned either way.
Yeah.
So it's like this stigma attached to these words like smackhead, cokehead,
Workaholic.
yeah, it's
Fucking
like
sexaholic. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
You get anything, isn't it? It's people in all walks of life.
just
you know,
fixing our pain, Bill, aren't we? On the way that we found best. That's it, really, isn't it, Bill?
It is.
But I worry for the kids now with the phones and that, Bill, because we're less than a second away from a fix. These kids, children, any feelings that they've got, any pain they've got, they're less than a second away from a fix.
WhatsApp, Snapchat,
Instant fix, yeah.
Instagram, Facebook,
Now,
Twitter.
yeah, and the lower your feelings go, the more you're getting your fix there, Bill. get you quick, get your fix.
It's someone that means all that.
So it's like you're just a second. The lower your feelings go, you're gonna put something up, aren't you, which matches your feelings. And you see these people who've got negative posts every day. If people didn't think, I should fucking moan about it, you'd see this fella's really struggling trying to reach out for a like, just to suppress to get his fix. That he uses Facebook.
It's
mad,
living for the likes. I've done it.
Yeah.
You know, living for the likes and the comments. You know what I mean? And then I'd scroll. Go, why the fuck hasn't he fucking liked my post?
Here's one I get, Bill.
I've seen him like here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bad, Bill. This is the one that I'm struggling with, Bill. Accepting. So when I win, I get literally thousands of messages. It could be, I rip back to one message at night and it took me 2.5 hours to get back to him. I have to write back at 4 a.m. because the conversations are ongoing if I don't do it at 4 a.m. when everyone's asleep. And all these, I said, no, I'm going to fucking answer these messages because I normally blank them because I don't feel like I'm worthy of this praise. So when everyone sends me the message, I don't believe I'm worthy of it. So I shut down with social media and I go missing until things are manageable again. Because I'm not willing to, I didn't used to be willing to accept myself as somebody who is doing well. As I was saying, back to that stigma, there's things that you pick up. But now I'm trying to change it so I can accept this goodness into my life and actually grow from it. Do you know what I mean? And take this responsibility as someone who wants to be successful.
Brilliant. I agree with it's nice to answer people. You know what I mean? It really is. It's important. So I got a message yesterday, right from a 17-year-old lad, Shane, mate. I'm enjoying these podcasts. I stay in my room a lot, but you know what, I'm relating to what you're saying, and I appreciate it, and you're doing really well, and that fills me with fucking, you know, like, wow, there's something. It's powerful. Yeah. It is, because although I don't know this kid, he slipped into the DMs, and he's, you know, and I've looked, and I get back to people, and in the beginning, I was burning the candle at both ends. It was nice to fucking reply and respond to everyone. Yeah. But then it was like I'm fucking messaging and back and forth. Then it became someone's agony aunt, and then, you know, and you saved my life. It's difficult, so you understand that it's time management, and, you know, like what you're saying about, like, you worry for your kids and that, you know what I mean? And yeah, I do. My boy, he's 7 months old, and the first thing he's picking up is the remote on the phone. He doesn't want his toys. It's the phone he's picking up. He doesn't know what it does. He just knows that me and his mum, you know, we're always on them. Not like, but we do. They're fucking part of our fucking limbs now, aren't they? Yeah. These mobile phones, know what I mean? That's a big, you know, it wasn't like that when we were kids, was it?
I sometimes wonder why the telly's in the room, Bill. Have you got a telly because your parents had a telly? Have I got a telly because my parents had a telly? And is it in the centre room, the focal point, because our parents had it there? Because I don't know why. It just is, and I'm sure my kids are going to have a telly right in the centre of the living room. Because I did, do you know what I mean? I've never actually stopped to fucking change it. Do you know what I mean? Why not a big old jukebox?
just mad. Comfortable with how it is, aren't we? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's the decisions, isn't it?
And a mirror, Bill, and a fireplace, and a couch. Do you know what I mean? You probably got one, I've got one, and someone else has got one. We've all got them because we've all had them. It's just gonna go until someone changes it, isn't it?
Yeah, so we live in a fucking tent. You know what I mean?
In a cave. I wanna go and get a cave, Bill, and move into a cave with my kids.
Brilliant. So, moving forward with your life, you've done, you've achieved a lot, right? You are a fighter, mate, in more ways than one. That's what I see. Right, so you're more than just a fighter in the ring. You know, you've got a fighting spirit. You've had to fight as a kid growing up. You know, you're obviously been fighting with how you feel as well over the years. Have you addressed that problem of the eating? disorder that you had during them fights with Kid Galahad and stuff.
Yeah, but I've been in. No one knows this. The first time I spoke about it. Now, if I still try to be open and honest in this area, but I've been in a program, been working a program for the last 6 months. So, Overeaters Anonymous. People like, I don't tell people because it's fucking laughable, isn't it? Wow, Overeaters Anonymous. But that's how I've been suppressing my feelings all these years, Bill. So, yeah, I'm happy to say I'm over six months and 2 days working a program.
So is that like a 12-step Overeaters Anonymous program?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. Meetings on the Zoom. It was all through the lockdown. Like, I thought I can't go into this lockdown. No way, I cannot go into this lockdown. I fucking do what I do to myself. Feeling. Anytime I feel good, Bill, I used to just tell myself, nah, you don't. You eat that shit now and feel normal, like shit. Do you know what I mean? Treat yourself like shit now, so you can feel like shit.
I think that's
normality, safety.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest problem that most people face in life is the image, how they look, how they feel about the weight. You know what I mean? That's a big, you know, if you look online or you speak to people, you know, you go to the gym and I was talking to Callum Smith's dad the other day, and he's fucking looking well for his age. He's 60, he's looking fucking solid. And I said to him, I said, look, what's your diet? Because I want to know, you know what I mean, what you're eating. He said, well, this is what I do. Get 6 eggs in this blender with half a fucking 60 grams of porridge, bit of peanut butter, blend it, you know what I mean? I thought I'll try that. Then get a bit of sourdough bread, some salmon, bit of spinach, and some boiled eggs. I'll try that. So I've been trying something different. Because they talk about our predecessors, don't they? People that went before us and have tried these ways of living.
Yeah.
And these techniques. They can hand them down to us. But we've got to be receptive and open to listen to what they're offering us with guidance. And for example, you know, the Zoom meetings, you know, what you're doing is you're identifying and you're relating with people who've been, whether they're athletes or not, whether they're just fucking, doesn't matter what they are, they're struggling, right? And they're explaining to you that they're eating because they're trying to suppress fucking emotions, you know, that they've had going on through
a
their
lot
life.
of these people are in 2 fellowships, Bill, and they all say that the first one that they developed as a young child was the eating, because you don't develop a coke habit, do you, at the age of 3, you know what I mean? So that was the first thing. But yeah, I felt like for years I knew I had a problem, Bill, because I'd just go back into this darkness every time and I'd sleep myself on this, how I felt on these feelings, whether I felt happy, whether I felt sad. Just go straight to the food, Bill, to neutralise myself. And that was one thing that, if I don't eat it, there's a worry. If I don't eat shit, what now? What will happen? What will happen if I don't take my drug? What will happen if I don't take my food? You know what I mean? That's how I felt. What will happen if I don't have this drink? That's what a lot of addicts go to, that fear. What will happen? And the truth is, nothing. Nothing's going to happen, you know what I mean? So, I see the same feelings as these people, but one person's over 400 pounds in these meetings, and I'm 9 stone, ripped to fuck. So, I didn't feel like I qualified because I weren't fat enough, and that was a mad thing. But in the mind, we were both the same. And what I realised is, in the end, is I've lost well more than you. We eat the same, but I just lose it. We've both the same minds, only you don't lose the weight, I'd lose it, do you know what I mean? I'd be the same weight as you, only that. And now I've developed fucking combated it by going out and running 12 miles on a fucking Friday night after I've just had 3 fucking bloody pies, do you know what I mean? So we've got the same mind, we've all got the same mind, Bill, haven't we?
Do you ever look in the mirror, right? You know, knowing that you're ripped, you cut up, right? And that you train like an Avenger, and see something different in the mirror. Do you ever say, fucking hell, there's a little bit of fat there, or a little bit overweight?
I don't know.
Or is it just in your mind overnight? Is it just, does that you start cultivating all those feelings?
It's not the actual physical, looking at the physical, it's the mental aspect for me, but the darkness of the mental aspect, how I feel, go to fridge, no, fucking be present and enjoy the time with your kids, go to fridge, kick the kids. So it's just like the mental aspect, the darkness, that spiritual fucking ropes you in, Bill, you got you around the neck and you can't do nothing, and you do it now and you do it when I say, you know what I mean?
You can go into that. I listen to a lot of people, you know, who share a lot of wisdom, and it's like that spiritual decay that we go into. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, you know, an example was, you know, if you turn a fridge off but you look in it, you know, everything's still going to be fresh. You know, so it's like on the inside, on the inside and on the outside it looks great, doesn't it? It's all fresh. But go back to it a couple of days later, it starts to decay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, so on the surface you're looking okay, but inside it's that spiritual decay where you're rotten. And you've just got to plug into that power, haven't you? That's what you're doing. You're plugging in. You're getting on site. You're checking in with your feelings. Yeah, I see. There's loads of analogies and there's loads of I enjoy listening to people's experience and wisdom. But I mean, because I was one of those people that you couldn't tell me fuck all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same with it.
And my mum would always say to me, "When are you going to stop?" And I'd go, "What's wrong with you?" I'd be going, I don't know. Soon, I will. Yeah. I am. Oh, come on. Just didn't know there was what the answer was, and it was only by reaching out and asking for help, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good, and it's important for people out there as well.
I do believe, Bill, we've all got a God-sized hole inside us anyway. I do believe we've all got a void in some place. We all got open a void, which is normal. And a lot of people feel like there's something wrong. When you say, what's wrong with you? When we get asked that, Bill, what's wrong with you? Well, there's fuck all wrong with me. But I'm doing things wrong and I've got problems, but there's nothing wrong with me. I think when we hear that, what's wrong with you, you actually do grow up thinking, what is wrong with me? There's something wrong, but there's not, Bill. None of us, but we have got that all. Every one of us, Bill, haven't we? And
it's a big one, isn't it? Because we get told what we get told as a kid, or even by like peers in school, and we believe.
Yeah.
And it's that old saying that we're conditioned, aren't we? The belief system, our belief system, and then we start, forming our own belief system as we get older. You know what I mean? My beliefs have changed.
Yeah.
I grew up and I believed everything my mother and dad told me. You know what I mean? I believed everything the schools told me.
Naturally.
And then I've started to form my own opinion around stuff. You know what I mean?
The words are powerful, Bill, aren't they? Because you see that kid, don't you? When he is at the age of 10, he's mad him. And he ends up in fucking jail by the time he's 25 because every time he hears he's mad, he starts to believe, I'm fucking mad, me, aren't I?
Living up to it, yeah.
Liverpool's full of them, Bill, innit? He's fucking mad him, he's crazy him, and they want to be, this is their image, innit?
Yeah.
So, madness, Bill.
So you're a big one on communities. I noticed that, you know what I mean? You're all for giving back as well, even if it's obviously you're sitting here, you're giving something back, you're identifying with myself and other people out there. Obviously they're going to be quite interested into what you're doing with your future. So what's the next step now moving forward?
Now, Bill, first and foremost, I always try and not get ahead of myself. I am a boxer first and foremost. I'm a fighter, and that's what I do for me living. I do that for me well-being. And the next shot for me will be a world title, hopefully, Bill. Well, I'm putting that out there. I will win a world title. That'll be very soon.
Is there nowhere else? Is that the next step, a world title? Have you got to go through any more fights just to keep the...
Might have to have an eliminator, Bill. I can accept I can have a world title eliminator, but I've beat the British Commonwealth and European title champion. There's nothing else in between. There's no gap in between. I'm double European, IBF and WBO European champion. There's no gap in between. So the next step for me is a world title. Projects outside of that, I'm one of them. I've just started the thing with Maverick Sports, and that's about people who in addiction. I do think with my dad going to talk about the plan. We're going to go for a meeting tomorrow and talk about how we're going to do it, but it's done it before in a place called Tom Harrison House, and these are people who are coming out of ex-military and they've gone through addiction, but along the addiction path, Bill, we lose our kids and our families, don't we? But the kids and families, there's nothing out there where, like me and my dad, where the two sides can speak to somebody. So if I'm in a room with somebody who's got problems with the daughter, the daughter, they're both in the same room, me and my dad will talk about our feelings, about how we bridge that gap after addiction, after resentments, how we bridge that gap, how we communicate, how we can talk, how we can get our friendship back on course. So things like that, how to give back to the heart of community, families, do you know what I mean? Like figure a way how we can help people, not just in addiction, but people who have to families, you know what I mean, that we can speak to people and let these kids know it's alright to feel that resentment towards your dad. Because the first time I went to counselling with my dad when he got clean, he said to me, how do you feel towards your dad? And everything I said, I finished with, but he is great. But, and he said, just say that again. He done this to you, but don't say but. And I couldn't not give the compliments after it, because I was also conditioned to my belief these are the best people in the world, these don't do no harm to you. But the truth is, we cause a lot of harm, don't we, through addiction. So I'm trying to give back with Maverick Sports. I'm going to do a bit of a project with them based around giving back through addiction and families in addiction, because that's where my heart's at. So I can only work from the heart, Bill, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and put it into that.
Well, that's brilliant. That's giving something, you know, some good back into the community. I get it, really. I understand where, you know, I wish he had that bridge. You know what I mean? That gap.
Yeah.
We could cross it and shit down. You know, so it's amazing that there's a chance there for kids there. And yeah, you know, when you're angry, you're angry. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm angry. You know,
Communication's hard, isn't it, Bill?
it is. It's a big one. It's the communication. It's I never knew nothing about my dad. Shit, never knew nothing about him. Sat there and watched him for years as a kid growing up. We used to have to, like, we were forced to sit on a fucking sofa and watch fucking grandstands all day, horse racing, while the kids were playing out. You know what I mean? My dad would be sitting there, turning the telly over with his fucking soles, because we never had a remote, smoking his fucking biffers, drinking his ale, and he wouldn't say a word to any of us, and there were 6 of us. Yeah. We're all going down in a line, you know what I mean? And he's my hero, but I fucking hated him at the same time. And I couldn't understand and I couldn't explain. I was always scared of him, even as a big man, and when he was even fragile. Yeah. I always held that fear for him, you know what I mean? So it's nice that you've got this Maverick Sports, and giving kids and families the opportunity to build. That's the glue. Yeah, look, this is it.
It also depends on the parent to be open enough to say, though, to the Bill, I'm open to this conversation, accept that I have done wrong. You know what I mean? I think that people in that situation, they have to accept it, don't they? Yeah. I've had a conversation with my mum. My dad's a bit more close to me, ma. He shows me, loves me in other ways, and he struggles to communicate. But my ma's proper open, Bill. She's open enough to me to say, look, lads, I'm sorry. This is why, at the time, I chose addiction, and this is why I've done it. I can't take it back. I'm sorry. And that little bit of thing, Bill, it's just gone. The resentment went. I understand, Mum, now. I knew it all along. I knew what you're saying to me, but thank you so much for being a woman enough to say, like, it was wrong of me. I can't take it back. I wish I could, and I genuinely knew that she meant it when she said it. I love you, but I could not fight this addiction. Once I was hooked, I was hooked. I don't know what it was like at the time, but my mum tells me in the 80s that she started taking it, this new thing, what was called heroin. She didn't know she had it in a spliff, and a year later she got a flu, and my alpha said, no, you're taking it. And she said, what's taking? And she said she was hooked from then, and she didn't know. You know what I mean? I hope that's all right for me to talk up. That's my mum's version of the story, but it's so easy for people to go into it. Do you know what I mean? And if you just break it down from the minds of your parents and give that compassion and not so much me. Why did you do that to me? You get more understanding, and if you can communicate from both sides and see the other side of the fence, and how hard it was for them people at the time, how hard it was for your parents, and how it was like their heads was just fucking scrambled, and they were looking on ways of development, as well as putting you in school every day and looking after you and feeding you every day 3 times a day, with dealing with their own feelings. They've got no outreach to fix their problems. All they've got is that one bit of drug to fix their feelings. Do you know what I mean? And if you can gather that sort of compassion for your parents, after, of course, they've owned up to their wrongdoings towards you, it can be rebuilt. You know what I mean? But not only rebuilt, made better. Not only can it be rebuilt, it can be made manifested into a great relationship. You can find a friendship at the age as an adult with your parents. You know, it's a beautiful thing, Bill. Just communicating.
Brilliant. Because You know, I heard someone mention, someone say like heroin back in the 80s. It was like a silent bomb that landed in Merseyside.
Was it?
Yeah, and it was like, you know, no one knew it was coming. You know, not only did it take away people's, you know, lives, livelihoods, you know, siblings, mothers, fathers, limbs even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, you know, it broke communities, it fractured society as a whole. And to be a product of that era, which, like, for myself, I was one of those kids who grew up. I took heroin myself at the age of 16 years old. At my whole world ahead of me, I'm taking heroin. I subject myself to this drug, and I have those same feelings. I feel like I've got a cold and a bit of a flu, and I'm getting salt and rattling. What the fuck does that mean? Well, you need some more. And then it was like, you know, I was powerless, and I was driven.
No one had the answer, did he, Bill?
No one had the answer. You know, people were turning up at my house with clipboards and shirts and ties and looking really smart and trying to tell me it's not a good idea to take this drug. And fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know where I've been? Do you know how I feel? Go away. Fucking do one. Right, it was only, right, until someone who'd been there, been through the experience, right, that if he can do it, I can do it. And it was my mate John. Yeah. And it was 17 years ago, right? And he said to me, Billy, there's a way out, you know. I went to this meeting and he said, there's a way out. It was up in Bristol. And I thought, is that you, John? Put loads of weight on. Bought me this basic text and he wrote in it. I seen him put his hands in his pocket, pull out a wallet, take a tenner out and purchase this book. I thought, this kid was fucking grafting rollies off me on the landings in Walton 2 years ago. Right, and now he's buying me a fucking book. And he wrote in this book, keep coming back, Bill, you're worth it. Right? Wow. I thought, wow, fucking hell. And I was still, it was that trust, Jazza, you know, I was like, there was a bit like suspicion. Why? What's going on?
Yeah.
What are these all about? Are these all fucking in the God Squad? These are all fucking weird. Because I had that street mentality, but it wasn't. When I went back and I said to this fucking drug counselor, I said, look, this fucking kid, I know he's bought me this book, he fucking spent money on me and he's wrote this message in it, what does it mean? He went, he just wants you to get your shit together, lad.
Doesn't mean nothing.
Doesn't mean nothing. There's no motive in it. There's no agenda. And that I encouraged myself then to go back to more of these meetings. And ever since, my life has just fucking changed. You know, my journey hasn't been straight. I made loads of mistakes, and you know, I've been told that, you know, the reason he put fucking rubbers on the end of pencils, Bill, is that you can fucking erase it and start again. Pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and just fucking start again. And that's what I've done over the years. You know, I'm in a really healthy fucking position now, positive. You know, it's been a good few years now since I've used, and like you, I've got, like, you know, I've got a little boy, and I look at him, like, and I think to myself, I can't treat him like my dad treated me.
It's gotta stop now,
right? It's gotta stop. And I tell him he's fucking loved. You know, I tell him he's beautiful. You know, what a handsome little devil he is. Obviously, he takes after his mum. You know, I've got a fucking face on me that's being punched all over the gaff. But you know, it's I'm learning to be that, to be a dad. You know, but I see this little boy as it's me. You know what I mean? And what would I do if I was my dad? I'd pick him up and I'd give him an hug and I'd tell him he's loved. And that's what was missing. You know, I lacked intimacy and closeness and the love. It was just something that we weren't, we didn't get.
Yeah.
You know, we got sold to get out and fucking fight. You know what I mean? So it's
a mad one, in it, because like you could have, when you're a child and you're looking at these kids with this material things, and you've got all the love in the world, you just don't know how rich you are, do you?
No.
And then there's the opposite, indeed. These people, you got all this material things, and you're just looking at the kids who are loved, the scruffy kids who are loved, and you've got brothers and sisters, and you see the love in their house. It's mad. We all want what everyone else has got, don't we?
Yeah. We're never happy with what we've got. It's never enough, is it?
No.
Like,
one thing you touched on there, Bill, was by talking about the man in the suit who used to come with the clipboard. We don't relate to him, do we? And
No.
I think that's why me and you are in a great position where we're not the man in the suit. Don't want to be the fucking man in the suit because I'll lose the kids who haven't got the suit on. Do you know what I mean? I think we're in great positions built to relate to them kids who haven't got, whose parents haven't got a suit on.
Yeah.
They can't speak to them people, can they?
No, yeah, and like, you know, like the community stuff that you're involved in. It's like myself, I'm involved in community stuff, and it's called Weapons Down, Gloves Up. And the reason it's called Weapons Down, Gloves Up is because we can, you know, there's a lot of knife crime campaigns, you know, and it's let's put the knife down, and there's a lot, you know, that needs addressing in that area. But you put the knife down and you pick up the gun. You put the guns down, you're picking up a fucking bat. You know what I mean? There's always, it's a weapon, totality. You know what I mean? Let's keep it simple for us. So, you know, working alongside Tony Bellew, he's involved, which is he's speaking up for it. And hopefully, going forward in the new year, you know, we can go into schools and deliver. I've done it before. I enjoy it. You know, I like reaching out, and it's boxing as well. I'm a coach and I'm a mentor, and throwing a few techniques, and I'm getting on a bit, but I believe I can still got something to offer.
How's the little fella getting on, Bill, who you were training in the gym?
I seen him the other day, little Sean.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Little boxer. He's just there. He needs a little bit of guidance, you know what I mean? He's got a similar background to both of us, you know what I mean? He's had you know, there's a lot been going on in the background. He's lost his dad and he's lost his godfather, Lee, and you know, it's quite sad. But he's really good. He's a good kid, yeah. You know, and I spoke to his mum the other day, and she said, call me, and I'm going to invite him to. I've started the Four Corners. It's close to where I am, and I enjoy it. They've got a lot of bags in there. They've got a few rings. And there's a kid's little ABC going on. So, you know, in the new year, we'll get him involved. He's still on side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sean, you can do it. You are worth it, and you will do it.
Yeah, because you've seen that little kid, haven't you? Yep. He's dynamic, isn't he?
Yep.
Brilliant. Good. He just took it to like a duck to water. Yeah. Put a pair of gloves on and he was fucking rapid.
So many kids out there who can do that though, Bill, Indy. It's the ones who believe in themselves, who got that belief, who can go further in it. And who know, and that's why boxing gyms and what you do, Bill, you're helping them, stuff like that. It's special, innit? Yeah. Because that takes the people to the next level, doesn't it?
So yeah, it does. So what do you think, right, you know, you haven't had an easy life, right, by any stretch of the imagination. You haven't had a silver spoon put in fucking front of you. You've had to fight for what you've got. You know, I've seen your journey. You know what I mean?
I'm lucky though, Bill. You know, I'm lucky. I'm very lucky, Bill. And you say that there was a kid that used to live by ours, Bill, and I used to always think about him. And he fucking went to jail. He ended up stabbing someone, going to jail. Got humiliated one day, went back and done a fucking horrendous crime, and went to jail. Now he's in jail for stabbing someone. And you always think the fucking love he never had put into him. I had an auntie down the corner who had also 4 kids, my cousins. I had like in the same street, you know what I mean? I was lucky, Bill, I had a lot, you know what I mean? I always think about it to someone. And then that kid who's in jail now, he's probably thinking, I never had a fucking chance, which he never stood a chance, Bill. But then there's kids who haven't got even less than him, you know what I mean? So I couldn't say I had it hard, you know.
So, more importantly, it doesn't matter what you've got outside materialistically. It's about the love that you're given, right? I believe that to be true, because I wish, you know, my mum loved us all, you know me, and I believe my dad did, but he was just a bit like fucking, he was like the Victorian, old school, you know what I mean? Stand in the corner, fuck off, get up there and fight. Don't you dare cry, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's nice. It's nice that you've had that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so lucky, Bill. So lucky. I'm grateful to my parents. So thank you so much. Because not only are they loving me, they've loved my kids through me, and their kids through them. You know. So.
How many kids have you got?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Wow. Boys, girls.
2 boys and a favourite.
2 boys and a favourite.
That was a joke, kids. Yeah, 2 boys and a girl.
2 boys and a girl. What ages are they?
12. 5 and 4.
Wow.
Yeah. My 12-year-old's my stepson since he was like 4.
Brilliant.
But yeah, no difference there.
There's no difference, no. He's part of
part
of who you are, yeah.
Me first.
You got a little boy and a girl as well.
Yeah.
How old's the girl? 4?
5.
She's 5.
She's
the youngest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, pain in the ass, but yeah, she's just a nightmare for the boys.
So what do they think when they see the dad on the telly fighting?
I don't know, Bill. I try not to bring it about like I try not to have them think, look, I'm not a boxer, am I? I'm the dad. You know what I mean? I'm the dad, whether it was working in Alfred's fitting size or whatever. I don't want them to think that I am the man who fits size in Alfred. I'm the dad, and that's most important. I can't get lost in that. Boxing takes up so much of their time, you know what I mean? But I feel a lot of guilt, a lot of guilt for the fact that I'm away from my kids, and they say, when are you out of camp? And I say, fucking 3 more weeks, and they don't know what weeks mean because they're too young. How many days is that then, Dad? It's 21 days till the fight, babe. Well, what's 21 days? And then we count 21 days on the phone bill, and I'm thinking, they don't even know what 21 days is. It's like forever, do you know what I mean? And I'm not here, and although I'm doing something positive, I'm abandoning my kids, Bill, because I have to be away. I can't get me rest. I don't want to be the champion. I want to be champion of the world, fulfill my dream selfishly. I'm just lucky I've got a good girl, Bill. The girl does everything with the kids. I'm just very, very lucky. And I hope one day, like I said, my mum told me that she done what she had to do for the situation she was in. I hope they understand that. I loved them so much, and it weren't because I didn't care and I weren't trying to abandon them. It's just because I was trying to do what was best on a positive note for us all, you know. So,
yeah, but they're going to soon find out, aren't they? Because once you're world champion, and you know, do you get recognised in the streets?
Yeah.
So how does that?
I was going back before about the uncomfortableness because I don't feel I'm worthy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Feel like an imposter.
Yeah, so like they're talking to me, like even sometimes I try and blend it, Bill, and you get the look, and someone looks at you, and and they know they've seen you, and the conversation's coming, and he's just like, there's my phone, do you know what I mean? And you think, he's going to start talking to me about boxing. That means the woman behind me is then going to say, oh, who's the boxer? What are you talking about? Yeah. And then she starts saying, oh, do you box? And I just sometimes like to blend it, Bill, and just blank it out, do you know what I mean? Play it down, but I want to be champion of the world, and I've got to accept these things. Yeah. And I love it. Once I get in a conversation, Bill, I love it because it was my childhood dream to be speaking to people and to sign things and to like. I like the kids, Bill, not like the little kids. Yeah. When someone's mother comes and says, "My lad's been watching you on the telly, watches your YouTube and all that." Yeah. I love that, Bill, because I can relate to him. I can like pick the kid up and say like, yeah, this is what we do, and play with the kids. I'm good with the kids, but with adults, Bill, I'm not.
You feel that? Yeah.
I feel like a blagger.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm blagging it, Bill. Although I am the champion or whatever, I just feel like I'm blagging it sometimes.
It's an hard one. It's difficult because I've had people come up to me and go, I've seen this and I've seen that, and can I get a picture? And I feel like the shame. I get people sending me messages, Bill, you're inspiring, and I feel like an imposter. I feel like a fraud. And I respond, I'm glad I've inspired you. How did you do it? I just kept breathing, mate. I just kept breathing, just kept walking forward. That was the answer, But I also have that stigma of me past experience. That is, me past is me past. Yeah. I did some unsavoury things. It wasn't, I'm not proud of it. But I'm here now today. I don't need to be fucking beaten and battered and fucking slagged. For something that is in the past. Yeah. It's about changing. If I was continually doing it today and being a cunt and carrying on, then fair enough. Give me an hard time, but I'm not. So, and I see that with other people who are trying to change. There's a lot of people on social media that, there's a lot of YouTube podcasts lately with ex-fucking offenders, and people are getting classed as gangsters, and what is a gangster? I share, there's even on the James English, Billy Moore, Liverpool gangster. I'm not a fucking gangster.
Sells them,
and it sells those on it for them. It's thanks for all your support, by the way, James. Yeah, and I know you're a big fan of him. I was speaking to him yesterday regarding that. You know what I mean? So that was it was good. So where was I going with that?
We're talking about how when they're speaking to you, you just feel like that kid. They gives a picture, but they don't know they're really getting a picture because of who you feel. Yeah. So thing like you feel like a blagger, don't you? Yeah. You're not speaking to the champion who you think I am. You're speaking to that fucking.
It's like scruff, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that one. And there's always, remember you were with your mates. Just as an example, you're with your mates, and then there's someone that you don't fucking like or you feel threatened by walks into that little crew of yours. You change as a person. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You change as an individual, like your whole persona, your attitude, the atmosphere, and everything goes with it, doesn't it? Yeah. It's like when someone comes up and says to you, "Oh, fucking this and that, and thanks," and it's like you go into that shell, don't you? What the fuck, you know, I feel a bit different here. I don't feel worthy.
Yeah.
That's your self-esteem.
Yeah. No, as a fighter, Bill, growing up and that, I don't like to be in parties, not like that, because if there's a boxer in a party, the conversation's on him all the time, Bill. I don't know if anyone's noticed it. Have a look if there's a boxer in the room. When's your next fight? And there's 3 people asking the same fighter at the same time. When are you fighting? Or like, when's your next fight? What, I seen that fight, blah, blah, blah. Don't know why, Bill. Did you ever feel like that? Because I don't like to be centre of attention in that situation, because I get mindful of because you get other people, don't you? It's not about me. And I get mindful of them people then, and like, I feel like I'm disrupting the fucking...
You feel like you're fucking sucking the fucking life out of the party. It's all about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people go, yeah, look, Billy, he's done this, he's done that, and then next thing, what happened? I haven't heard this, I haven't seen it, and the next thing they're pulling the phones out and they're looking on fucking Google and YouTube and you're up and stuff like that, and they're checking you out, and then you're requesting, did this really happen? Was that true? You know, how did you feel? How did you do it? And then it takes away the reason that you're really there.
And there's someone sitting on their own, because
I get it. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? We should be sharing like the love with everyone. Right, question. Right, Canelo, Callum. It's a big one. Yep. Coming up on the 19th.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Bill. My honest opinion is that Canelo is Canelo. He's a fucking unbelievable fighter. But I've said this before, if we have this conversation after the fight, Callum's just won, and you say you're shocked, I would say no, I'm not shocked at all. I know he can win. I know he can win. Will he win? I think he's up against it. I don't think he's the favourite. Well, in my opinion, he's not the favourite, but he can beat him. He can beat him. He can beat him. It's going to be hard, Bill, but he can beat him, yeah.
He's like the Aguilar in here today, and he with his jab. Callum, like, no, he's up against the only defeat that Canelo's had was Mayweather. Yeah. Mayweather just fucking boxed the living daylights out of him. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's his game. He's in and out. Callum, big long jab, bam, bam, bam. Yeah. You know, but how long can you keep that jab up? It's a big one, isn't it? Canelo is just fucking tears your body apart, doesn't he? With them fucking power shots.
He's an unbelievable fighter. But what impressed me about Callum was mentality more than anything, Bill. I think the mentality. Someone can beat Canelo out there. He's just a man who has to be strong enough and brave enough in there to say, I'm going to do it. There's someone who can do it. And do you believe Callum can do it? Yeah, if his mind's right, yeah. Because he's got a physical attributes. Do you know what I mean? He can't physically do it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's got the whole of Liverpool behind him, hasn't he? So it's not fucking the country. That's, you know, he's going out there and he's representing, you know. It's a big fight for him. Yeah. It's a big fight. He hasn't lost. You know, someone's got to lose this fight. It could be 2 defeats to Canelo. It could be 1 loss.
That's a good thing, isn't it? Because he doesn't know what it's like. He doesn't know what it's like to lose. He hasn't got that mental doubt. He's got no doubt because he doesn't know what it's like, you know.
Yeah. So who's in your corner these days?
Georgie Vaughan and Terry Matthews.
Seen Georgie, it's
fucking great, you know.
I see the love you have for him. Yeah. And Terry said he's spoke to Terry on the phone through messages the other week, and he said he'll come on. He's just trying to find a bit of time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's doing well with the gym and that, Terry. He's got classes in the morning. But he said he's got amateur class, pros.
Yeah, he said he will. He said he'd, you know, I'm glad looking forward to that, Terry. Get you on here and have a little chat. I've never met him. Be nice to meet him. Yeah. So it's good that you've got two solid guys in your corner.
3 years ago yesterday I joined Georgie. I'd fought for the world title. I'd lost, Bill, and I had to reinvent my career. I was fighting at 8-10. I said, I'm going to move up weight now. Can't keep doing these horrendous things, shocking fucking weight cuts, what I was doing. One time, Bill, I felt like I was having an heart attack. Well, I thought, getting fucking pulses up and down my back, and I thought, I'm having an heart attack here. But I'm going to weigh in an hour. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you're getting on the scales, you look like shit, you feel like you're going to die. You get weighed in. I cut like something like, I think it was 10 kilo in a week, Bill. 5 kilo the day before, was just laughing me. Someone who's fighting at 8-10. And then 2 hours after the weigh in, you're saying, I feel great. Look at me, I'm great, aren't I? You know what I mean? You've drank a litre and you're saying, I'm fucking flying here, aren't I? But really, it takes its toll on your body, Bill. So I moved up a weight, reinvented myself, went with Georgie, Jerry, Carl Evans, John Moores University, managed by MTK Global and Tony Bellew. So I've got a great team around me, Bill. I feel like I've got strong stability around me, people who guide me, and my career's just gone from stint to stint. but all the fundamentals of it is hard work and dedication, which I'm on heels every morning with Georgie Vaughan, and then we go to the gym and we work and we spar hard and we work hard, and that's that. There's just no secrets, Bill, is it? You just got to fucking work hard. You can have all the help you want, and it helps. It helps.
Yeah, it's got to work hard. You got to be that one, you know, that one step ahead of the game. You know what I mean? It's you growing up, boxers. Who was your favourite?
Obviously we all love Mike Tyson, don't we, when we were kids, but Marvin Hagler was my favourite fighter.
Starving Marvin.
Oh,
Thomas, the 8 Man Ains and Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, I didn't like Ains that much because I loved Hagler so much. Do you know what I mean? I despised Ray Leonard because I love Hagler so much.
They were all in that division, weren't they?
Yeah.
The Roberto Duran, he was my favourite, the Elton Stone. I loved it.
Was it Fabulous 4, was it? It was DVD. He used to watch them fights. He said that Hagler was my favourite. That was the first time I seen him when I was a little kid. Yeah, probably Hagler. I don't watch much boxing really, Bill, but I like the
old school boxing. I don't really watch much boxing myself. I do watch the old school. Like Tyson was, like, he's my favourite, obviously. Yeah, he's a fucking big hitter, isn't he? You know, before that, you've got Muhammad Ali. You know, he's before my time, but Tyson was my era.
Yeah.
You know, I used to go to the gym. You know, I went to the St Ambrose, which is now the Gemini, and on the wall when I went in there was like Leon Spinks, Mike Tyson.
No YouTube back then, was there?
No, John Conti. All these old tatted posters that they had. 1988. I remember it well. I think that's around the time that Mike Tyson won his first belt. You know, his first belt title at the age of 21. I met Mike Tyson's ex-girlfriend, Patty Barrett, in London last year. I was sitting there, and she's from over the States, from New York, and she was talking to me. She went, you remind me of my ex-boyfriend. I thought,
just getting it out there, was
yeah. I thought, who the fuck's that? She said, Mike Tyson. Fuck off. But she was. Apparently, they was in recovery. She was in recovery. They had a bit of a relationship, and that's my claim to fame with Tyson. Like, you know what I mean? It's as close I've got to him.
Same with her, really.
But yeah. So, what about films, movies? I was a big fan of Rocky. Like, what about yourself?
Yeah, Rocky. When I say boxing, Bill, Rocky was that was it for me. Rocky, used to absolutely love Rocky. Yeah. Favourite one, no, Bill? What's your favourite Rocky? I like the early ones where he's struggling.
The first one, the first two. When he started getting past, when he started getting a big ego and started looking really smart and fucking buying all kinds of crazy robots and fighting Dolph Lundgren and that was Mr. T. Hulk Hogan. It started to get a little bit cheesy.
But I love Mr. T then. Yeah. When Rocky got a bit flash, I like Mr. T. I love Clubber then.
But it was good, the story, because it started from the grassroots. He had fuck all, didn't he? Yeah. You know, when Stallone is he's a fucking talented he's a talented man.
What's he like, Bill?
Brilliant. I worked with him for a good few months on Rambo 4, and I was just like a crazy scouser mixed up, looking in this fucking mad world, and I got this opportunity to work on set with Stallone, and I had him hounded for photographs, and you know, we were talking to him, and his manager is a scouser called Kevin King.
Oh, is that the link? Because he likes scousers himself?
Yeah, well, his manager is Kevin King, and he's from Croxteth. Kevin's fucking sound, and he got me. I said, Kev, give us a picture with him. So I started talking to him. Oh, fucking hell, Rocky. Yeah, he's Rambo, man, you know. You sometimes understand this. The fuck's he saying? But that was an experience. He was fucking great. He had a presence, right? Seriously, when I met him, it was like I felt intimidated. You know, and then I started to get into my comfort zone around it because I'd seen him every day, and I was working on Unit 1 with him, and I was Sylvester Stallone stunt standing on Rambo 4. Fucking stunt standing, lad. I wasn't a stuntman, but I was a standing. Basically, I was just there for the camera, the shadows and that. I wasn't fucking doing big crazy rolling down hills and getting blown up, but it was just to have that. It was fucking powerful, you know what I mean? And start speaking to him, and I remember we were talking to him in his trailer. And one of the girls were going, fucking hell, you're a big scary guy and all that. And he went, do you know what, I'm just a fraud, I feel. You know, he's just the same as us. You know what I mean? It was, gone on a little bit too much about him there, but yeah, he's fucking great. You know what I mean? I enjoyed that experience. But yeah, like yourself, Rocky, the first one. class.
Me and my mates always talk about the story of Clubber Lang. There should have been a movie made on Clubber.
Yeah.
My mate Steve always says about Clubber after the fight went into disgrace. And he become a bum and then he opens a gym. We've got this whole story about Clubber Lang, but it did never happen.
Brilliant, fucking brilliant stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they make it many like they do today, do they? You know, there's any great movies that fucking making any movies now, are they? Not getting fucking played in the cinemas.
This one, what was the movie? I think it's called The Fighter, I think, Bill. I think it was
With Shane Airy.
Bronson.
Bronson?
No, in the original one. It was a brilliant one. He's a bare little boxer.
The Governor?
Oh my God, it's just dance here.
Is it The Governor?
No,
The Fighter?
I think it's called The Fighter, like 1930. So it's a brilliant film. I think I'll get it up.
Yeah, you'll have to
I'll
send me a link.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I mean, right, coming close to an end. It's been really fucking brilliant speaking with you. Thanks for turning up. As we always say at the end, is there any pearls of wisdom or anything that you've learned? Obviously, you've shared a lot anyway. You know, just for people out there who are struggling. I mean, we've kind of covered everything, but it's just a fucking thing I say at the end.
I don't know, but like saying fucking, you say this.
Yeah.
Like
What would you say to your younger self? If your little self was standing there in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Right, what would you say to him?
Recently, Bill, I've been connecting with that child and I'm getting so much strength from it by trying to go back to who I am and show that kid love. But yeah, it's alright. Not much more. It's alright.
That's
You know what I
it.
mean?
It's all right.
Okay, yeah.
And with that, brilliant. Thank you very much. Hello guys, if you've enjoyed this podcast then subscribe here. Follow me on all social media platforms here. And my guests are here. Thank you.